Hello again. Oh, in case some of y'all didn't catch that, so I jumped on live right around 12 o'clock, and as soon as I got on, I was like, something's gonna interrupt this, and we're gonna have to start over. Anyway, we are back. Here I am. It is now 1:30. The youngest is asleep. Hopefully he does not get woken up by the other two, because if he gets woken up by them, you're gonna hear me scream. The wonderful world of quarantine and staying at home. But anyway, it's what it is. What it is. Here we are. Here we are. So, trying to think of what to recap about everything. So we've got some new people. If you have no idea, if you've been seeing the 30-day challenge thing, and you have no idea, my hair is going crazy. Quarantine hair. If you've been seeing the 30-day post and you have no idea what that is, right now I am running a contest. And it started at the beginning of May. And basically, you pick a goal and you're trying to accomplish it for 30 days. And in the end, I'm giving away some cool prizes. Don't know if I'll ever do it again. We'll see. What happens with it. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. We are here today to talk about how to get people that don't really like being in front of the camera to, calm down, relax, smile, have a good time. Because it is, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Being in front of a camera is difficult. We all struggle with it. We want to look good in photos. We are self-conscious about things, and we don't know. Maybe we have that fake smile. Those fake smiles, and it's just difficult, and I understand that. And so I try and make my sessions as much fun as possible. And there are certain things I do that try and get people to relax and have a good time and smile, where the real smiles are not fake smiles. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is pretty common sense once you think about it. And we're going to go through that. Some of the stuff you can apply to your photos today, whether you're doing just selfies or whatever. So hopefully it'll be helpful and just kind of give you an idea of how I do things. So let me jump into the presentation. Get all this stuff out of my way. Present. All right. And then I've got to switch. I forgot to switch first. My brain is racked. Okay. Switch to my computer. This screen. And then I hit present and it goes full screen. And here we are. All right. So I think this is what we all want. We all want to have a good time with our photos. We don't want to feel fake. We don't want to feel uptight. We don't want to feel conscientious of the way we are looking. So I think everybody wants this. So, I already kind of said this is very normal, guys. I would feel the same way when I get in front of the camera. I'm a little better at it because I understand a lot of the posing and that kind of things and the tricks. But still, even when I get in front of a camera, sometimes I'm like, God, I feel fat, or I know this looks weird on me. And so it's just normal. We aren't models, or at least most of us aren't. Some of you might be models. I don't know. But the majority of us aren't models. So being in front of the camera is not the most comfortable thing for us. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you will get. Especially if it's with a photographer that you know and you trust. And like I said, I'm going to give you some tricks to kind of help you understand this a little bit more as well. All right. So what we're not going over today. A lot of you have seen the posing guide that I've created, and it's got a lot of tips in it. I also have been sending out a video about how to not have double chins. And there was another video I did in the group just about looking good. So we're not going into the posing side as much of it, because I've already kind of covered that. So if you missed those things, you can go back and you can find them in the group. They are there. We're focusing, like, going into more detail of exact things that you can do to feel more comfortable and to have a good time and enjoy it or whatever. Okay. Make sure my watch just blew up from, okay. All right. So the first thing I always do is I just like to distract people from the fact that they are having their photo taken. And the main way I do that is just very simply by talking to people. I like talking to people. I like learning about people. And it's very hard for people to focus on a camera when you're having a conversation, when you're having to answer questions and think about what you're saying. You can't really think about the camera while you're thinking about what you're saying. And so a lot of the times during sessions, I just learn about people, and I will ask all these questions, and I mean, it serves more than one purpose. I start to learn about them, so then I know what to continue to talk about. But again, it also helps them feel like I understand them. It helps them feel like we're connected. And again, they can't think about the camera when they're answering my questions. So here are a few of the common questions I ask. I don't ask all of them, but there's some of them. So I talk about people's jobs. I mean, I get to meet some of the coolest freaking people and have the coolest jobs out there. And so it's always fun to hear their stories and hear about what they do. And I mean, most people picked a job because they like it, so that they're going to want to talk about it. Okay. I also talk about where people are from. It always amazes me where people originated from and how they got to where they are. I'm in Northwest Arkansas. I know not all of you are there, but I mean, it's a growing area, and it's so funny to hear how people got here. And it's almost always one of the big businesses. If they like sports, I love talking about sports. Unfortunately, the Arkansas Razorbacks football team is not great, but we can still talk about sports and other related things, other teams. Hobbies. I love hobbies. I play poker. I might be playing tonight. So when people have hobbies, that's always, again, something they enjoy, something like talking about. So we can talk about things that they like. TV shows are probably my favorite thing to talk about. I think most of y'all know that. TV shows and movies. I can get in a conversation with someone and just like really connecting with them just by talking about the movies and the TV shows they like. That's how I can tell pretty quickly if I'm going to really connect with someone, is when they start talking about their TV shows. If it's something we have in common, I'm like, oh, sweet. We can talk about this all day long. And I'll just be throwing movie quotes left and right, as I've been known to do. Talking about the honeymoon, talking about their bridesmaids or their groomsmen, so like their friends. And if you want to get really deep and emotional about it, to make them talk about their fiance, be like, what is it you like about him or her? What makes them awesome? So again, it's very hard. Like when I've been asking these questions, you've been thinking about your answers, right? So it's very hard to focus on a camera when you're having to think of these answers and you're having that conversation. Continuing on. So once I've asked them questions, I will always respond to them. I mean, sometimes it's just me asking for more details. Like if they're a quantum physicist or something, like, tell me more about that. I have no idea what that does or how you do that or anything about that. So please inform me more. So I always like to go deeper with things that I personally find interesting. I mean, I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, well, that sounds cool, when I really don't. So it's a real conversation. A lot of times I'll tell them my own stories. And so that's when they're sitting there listening to me, I can take photos of them because I'm telling them a story and they're listening and they're reacting to my story. And a lot of the times when I find something really funny or cool or interesting about them, I will bring that up consistently throughout the shoot. And I'll bring it up at random times to make them laugh. So like, I'll find out something early in the shoot, and then later I'll be like, bam, bring that back up. And they'll start laughing about it, and then bam, bring it back up. And so just having the conversation with people really makes them learn to trust me and connect with me like they know me. I mean, think about it. When you first meet someone, you don't necessarily feel comfortable with them. You don't necessarily trust them. But once you start having conversations with them, once you like see that you have connections with them, it changes. It changes. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make them feel more comfortable with me and build real relationships with people. All right. Here's the other thing I do. It's action. I give them something to do. Because again, when you're doing something, it is very hard to think about the camera because you're thinking about what you are doing. So I have I have so many different prompts and things I can tell people to do. So I've just listed some of these things, but like literally I have probably 100 different things I can make people do. So let's go through some of them and then I'll kind of talk about that. And again, these are probably the ones that you can actually do yourself. I love making people whisper random things in the other person's ear. And sometimes I'll give them suggestions, or sometimes I'll like just say whatever comes to mind. And it's just funny because I can't hear what they're saying, but I can see the reaction on the other person's face. And it's just hilarious to me. So just like, whisper your favorite fruit in the sexiest voice you have in her ear. Banana. Or whatever, So then the other one, I love this one. Just show them how much you love them with a hug. So like you can't say anything, but you're expressing that to them by showing them with a hug. Okay, this is always a fun one. Trying to make the other person laugh. So again, you can't say anything, but you can just do like facial expressions and just do weird stuff until they get them. Random tickles. So like tell the guy, okay, or girl or whoever, at some point, just randomly tickle them when they're not expecting it. And you'll just get great reactions from that. Okay, some other just random things you can do. You can skip. You can give a piggyback ride. You can play a game of leapfrog really quick. You can have them look into each other's eyes for a whole minute and not talk. So that might start off really serious, or it might start off really goofy and then turn serious, or the other way around. Tell them to kiss like a fish. So with that one's really fun. So the kiss photo is not going to be the good one. Okay. The reaction to the kissing like a fish is what you want, what you're going to want. So not the actual kiss, because you're going to look stupid, but right after you kiss like a fish, it's going to be hilarious. Have a little quick dance competition between the two of you. Here's another fun one. So you go real serious and you're like, okay, now, I want you to take your hands and gently put them on her face, and you're going to start to pull her in for a kiss. And then you say, and I want you to hold her head very carefully, just like a loaf of bread. And when you get to that, when you're being all serious and you say something just stupid like that, again, it's going to get a reaction because, no one's expecting you to say something dumb like that. I like neck kisses, or if someone has a beard, just like getting that beard up in there, because it's really hard not to laugh when you're having a beard attack you. And again, that's not all of them, but those are some of them. So as far as these things go, I don't do all these for every session. I don't ask every question for every session. I don't make them do all these things. And I'm gauging the couple, and I go for what fits for them. So some people are not going to go for the super extremely goofy stuff. Some of them will. Some of them don't want any of the emotional stuff. So that's where the conversation comes in again. Once I have a conversation with them, I can start to figure out their personality and say, okay, they're probably going to be okay doing this. And I always do the talking first, because I can't just show up and be like, all right, I want you to kiss like a fish, when they don't trust me. So you do the talking first, build up the trust, and then you can get them to do the other thing. As far as we had a comment about someone's father kind of being a serious faced person. So the suggestion I have with that, there's a few different ways you can go about dealing with certain individuals that are like not the couple. With the dad that's really serious, the best way to get it is probably candid photos. So like throughout the day when he's not expecting it, get some candid photos. Another thing you can do, if you can find out anything that he's interested in, that can always make him laugh or smile. One other trick that I don't do a whole lot, if you're going to do like a first look with a father, if I'm right there with him, I can start kind of talking him up and building up the emotion. Like, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. What's it like, your daughter, this being your daughter's wedding day, and she was your little girl, you know, and now she's about to get married. Oh man, I bet that's really emotional for you. And so you talk up the emotions with him beforehand. So he's getting that stuff going in his head. And so then when you do the first look with him, he's already about to cry. So there are ways to break down the emotions with these people that, man, my watch is just blowing up. These people that tend to kind of be serious. So there are ways to getting around that as well. Okay, let's see if I have anything else. So as far as, sure I understand. Oh, yeah, thank you, Watch. Oh, Siri, always listening to me. Okay, so as far as how you can use this yourself, like I said, if you can throw some of this stuff into your selfie world, and it can probably help. So like if you're about to do a selfie with your fiance and you pinch him on the bottom, you're gonna get a good reaction. If you tickle or say something random, you're going to get a good reaction. If you're a photographer, like if you hire your uncle or someone who's a brand new photographer, you could always share some of these tips with them. And, you know, then it would, it'll help them out as well. So, or just randomly, if you're out on a date night and you just want to have some fun and do something silly, be like, let's play leapfrog right here in the middle of the city. And, you know, so there's lots of random things you can do just to have a good experience and get some emotion out. Okay. Been talking for a long time, but I've been talking quickly so I don't have random kids show up and start yelling at me. Let's see if I can switch over back to my face. There's my face. All right, I'm going to see if, I don't know if anyone's made any comments or anything. All right. So, hopefully that's what you want, guys. Hopefully you want to feel comfortable in front of the camera. Hopefully you want to feel relaxed, and hopefully you want real smiles and just enjoying as much as you can the day. You want it to be just full of joy, full of excitement, full of energy. And really, guys, a lot of those tips that I told you will help you feel that way. Even the grumpiest, hate the camera most type person in the world, you can get them to smile and have a good time. All right. As always, if you have questions, if you need help with something, I am here for you guys. And just, I don't know, wish me luck on dealing with these kids for the rest of this week, because I'm about to lose my mind. Oh, man. All right, guys. See you later.